And let's bring in Niall Stanage on this White House columnist with our partner, The Hill. Niall, thanks so much for joining us this evening.
Good to be with you, Natasha.
So let's talk about this. The Trump campaign telling Libby Dean tonight's event is this doubling as a VP tryout of sorts. And you recently wrote a column about this very subject for The Hill. So of these three special guests who are at the Trump event tonight, is there a front runner that you're identifying right now?
Among those three, I would say Senator Tim Scott has the best chance. I'd be amazed if former President Trump chose Doug Burgum, because I just don't think he's a kind of glamorous enough figure for Trump. And Vivek Ramaswamy became less popular the more he campaigned during his own presidential campaign. Tim Scott has lots of things to recommend him. He's affable, he's a good speaker. He obviously was very emphatic in his support for Trump since abandoning his own bid. But there could be other candidates not among those three who could end up as the running mate.
Tell me, who are you tracking right now not in this list of three right now?
If I had to name two, I would say Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio and Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota. I think those two candidates, or two potential candidates, have a lot of things that they could bring to a ticket for Trump and would have a lot of appeal to the former president.
I do want to shift to the administration quickly. We saw President Biden this week give his harshest warning so far for Netanyahu. What are you monitoring in the White House this week? Biden's reaction behind closed doors to that attack on World Central Kitchen workers.
Well, I think one of the key questions is this some sort of pivot point or inflection point? We have heard the president's rhetoric toughen for some time now as the death toll has mounted in Gaza. Obviously, that tragic killing of the World Central Kitchen workers was just catastrophic. But is the president yet at the point where he threatens to condition military aid to Israel on it behaving better? We're seeing that opinion spreading into the mainstream of the Democratic Party now, but the president hasn't yet adopted that position.
Okay. And Niall, I also know that you're tracking headlines surrounding Hillary Clinton's comments on The Tonight Show that people who are unhappy with a Trump-Biden matchup should, quote, get over yourself. What are you tracking there?
Yeah, I did some reporting on that during the week. And the issue there is everyone understands her argument, right? Her argument is, well, it's either President Biden or former President Trump. Make up your mind. The problem is in phrasing it that way, you could actually deepen the kind of alienation or discontent that people are already feeling. And of course, that is feeding into a degree into support for people like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as a third-party candidate.
All right. And very quickly, RFK Jr., a spoiler for which side? Has anything changed?
Not a lot has changed. He seems to take very slightly more support from President Biden than from former President Trump when the three candidates are tested in polls.
All right. Niall Stanage, always appreciate the context and time. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.